And hello again, everybody. This is Michael Dempsey for HorseBettingWorld.com. We're just a couple of days away from the third jewel of the Triple Crown, the Belmont Stakes. And I thought today we'd talk a little bit about Pedigree because, of course, these three-year-olds have never been a mile and a half, probably will never go a mile and a half again after Saturday. And we'll talk a little bit about Pedigree to see which one of these top three-year-olds might be able to get the distance in the fastest amount of time. So we'll talk a little bit about Pedigree. The first one I want to talk about is the Kentucky Derby winner, Animal Kingdom. He's by the sire of the champion turf male of 2005, who was best up to a mile. The Kentucky Derby winner does get some stamina from the female side of the family. The dam was a Group 3 winner on turf, winning at a mile and a quarter in Germany, and the Derby winner is her first foal to race. Proven at the Derby distance of a mile and a quarter, I don't think Animal Kingdom's going to have much trouble handling the mile and a half distance. Brilliant Speed was 7th in the Kentucky Derby, and he's got a bit of an intriguing pedigree. The colt has a long-winded pedigree and should be able to handle the extra ground if he's good enough. He's by top turf sire Dynaformer out of an unraced Gone West mare. Her second dam is Dejine, who was a full sister to Belmont Stakes winner Touch Gold. So Brilliant Speed's got a little bit of pedigree there, although his form doesn't exactly look all that great. Isn't He Perfect is another horse that doesn't have exactly good form. Colt really hasn't shown much in his last 3 starts. He's by Pleasantly Perfect, who won the Breeders' Cup Classic and the Dubai World Cup. The mare won the top flight handicap at a mile, and several of her sibs have won graded stakes races going long. She's a half-sister to Mash 1, a 2-time Grade 1 winner at a mile and a quarter. So Isn't He Perfect does have a little bit of pedigree going for him, although he's certainly going to be a long shot in the race. Master of Hounds is the overseas import, who was 5th in the Kentucky Derby, and the fact that Aidan O'Brien brings this horse back to the Belmont Stakes, 3rd trip from overseas to the U.S. Of course, he ran on Breeders' Cup Day last year. Might be worth one to keep an eye on. He's by King Mambo, who's best known as a turf sire, but he did sire Lemon Drop Kid, who of course is a Belmont Stakes winner. His mare Silk and Scarlet did her best work sprinting on the grass. Monzon, that's the Count Fleet winner, wasn't much of a threat in his last 2 starts. He's by Thunder Gulch, the 1996 Kentucky Derby and Belmont winner. The mare Shadow of Mine only had 1 sprint win, but 6 of her sibs are black type, including Avies Shadow, who finished in the runner-up spot in the Grade 1 Ashland Stakes. It looks like he can say the distance and won't mind if the track comes up wet. There's about a 40 or 50% chance we could see some rain on Saturday afternoon. Of course, that's subject to change over the next couple of days if you follow the weather like I do. Mucho Macho Man, he's by Macho Uno, who was most effective up to about 9 furlongs. Most of his offspring seem to be better milers to 9 furlong as well. The dam was a versatile type who won both on dirt and turf. This is her first foal to race. The distance seems to be pushing the envelope here. I'm not sure Mucho Macho Man really wants a mile and a half. Nero was the Kentucky Derby runner-up. His sire, Mineshaft, is a multiple Grade 1 winner at a mile and a quarter and can produce progeny that can get a route of ground. The mare also produced stakes winners Sweet Lips and St. Martin. The mares are half to 5 stakes winners or stakes placed runners, and the sire influence should be enough to get this guy to handle the mile and a half distance. Plus, he, of course, has had that little break where Animal Kingdom and Shackelford both ran in the Preakness. Nero comes in as the fresh runner. Prime Cut was 3rd in the Peter Pan in his last start. The colt's by Bernstein, who was a solid sprinter, and while he has produced a few long-winded runners, most of his progeny seem to be best up to about a mile. The dam, Life Happened, was unraced and is a half-sister to the brilliant sprinter Disco Rico, one of the fastest sprinters I ever saw race in Maryland, could really get out of the gate. So I don't think this Prime Cut's really got the pedigree to get a mile and a half. Ruler on Ice, his sire Roman Ruler had a strong 3-year-old campaign for trainer Bob Baffert, including a win in the Haskell Invitational at 9 furlongs. The mare Champagne Glow was a stakes winner at 7 furlongs, but she does have some pretty talented runners in her lineage. While his pedigree is a bit on the light side, he does have a solid off-track pedigree and still appears to have a little bit of upside potential. Santiva, his sire's Giant's Causeway, who was a multiple Grade 1 winner on turf and 2nd in the Breeders' Cup Classic. He's produced some top dirt runners, including Escandaria, who won the Wood Memorial and was probably the most talented 3-year-old of his generation before an injury knocked him off the Triple Crown Trail. The dam was unraced and is a half to a couple of stakes winners, Safely Kept and Partners Hero. Of course, Safely Kept was a phenomenal sprinter. Shackelford, the Preakness winner is by Forestry, who's best known producing runners up to maybe about a mile or so. The mare Oatsy won just twice, her longest win coming at 7.5 furlongs. but she has produced several good runners, including Lady Joanne, who won the Grade 1 Alabama at 1.25 miles. The pace is slow enough. I think this guy should be around in the late going. He showed me a little bit something in the Preakness. I didn't really like him all that much in the Preakness. And last but not least is Stay Thirsty. His sire Bernardini won the Preakness as well as the 1.25 mile Travers, and also the Jockey Club Gold Cup against older runners. The mare only won once. That was a 12-furlong race on the all-weather at Lingfield. Among her foals, the race is Drama's Hero, who was second in the 2005 Belmont Stakes behind Fleet Alex. His last 2 starts weren't pretty, but Stay Thirsty is bred to run all day. Of course, we'll have plenty of more Belmont Stakes preview action up on horsebettingworld.com. Also, make sure you check us out on Twitter and on Facebook. And I'll have my full card analysis for the entire Belmont Stakes card, including all the other stakes action. That'll be available at horsebettingworld.com on Thursday evening. So good luck. It's going to be a great Belmont Stakes. It's going to be a great betting race. Let's hope we can pick the winner. We'll see you a little bit later this